Hello guys, are you thinking to make an application which can save your contacts in your contact book? Or you're thinking to make an application in iOS which can save your LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, uh, other credentials like your phone, work phone number, your email ID inside your complete contacts? So guys, this is the very right place and I'm going to teach you that how you can save all these things in your contacts. So the very first step which you have to do is you have to go onto google.com, you have to type codes room, and once you are onto our website, you have to click onto the courses category, and in that you have to select the iOS structure objective C. And once you have done this part, so let's come over to the Xcode, which is our IDE. So guys, you have to click onto the very first step, which is like the file. You have to click on new, you have to click on project, and once you have clicked on project, you have to click on single view application and then click next. So once you have clicked on next, just name your project as codes room or like address book codes room. Select objective C from here, click on next, click on create. This will create your repository. You're familiar with the complete structure which is being shown over to here, and it automatically creates a file which is by the name of view controller. So guys, once you have done this part, it's time to just create some functions which I'm going to explain you here. So guys, once you have done this part, you have to just copy this particular piece of code. So when you just copy this particular code in your application, I'm going to explain you that what this particular code means, so that you are actually familiar that what we are doing inside this particular code. So guys, what you have to do is once you make your own class, which you have which you are already familiar in my previous videos, that how you can make your own class in iOS, then the very first step is like in your XIB or in your storyboard, you have to just drag and drop a button. You have to write, let's say, click to save contacts. I have written this. You can write any particular text over to here, and then you have to make a connection, which I say as a IB outlet. And once you have made that IB outlet, which is by the name of save contacts, you can name it as you think, and then into .m file you have to copy this particular piece of code. Now I'm going to explain you that what this particular piece of code means. Once you've done this part, it's time to just create one more class, which I have created like Sam person. You have to create one more class which can be of any name. So this Sam person is being inherited by NS object. Do note that you can just create this class as similar. I'm creating one more as showing onto your screen. You have to click on Cocoa Touch class, next, and then you can name any, let's say, codes room new class, and from here you can select NS object, right? And then once you click on next, the file will be created. So guys, similarly I just created this file, and the reason why I created this file was that I'm going to save the every single credential of the user which I want to save in my contact book. So let's say it has the first name, last name, nickname, organization, display, all the social media IDs along with the email address and the blog URL, right? Onto that, onto a .m file, I have the complete information that what the person first name is, last name is, and every other information which is being shown onto your screen. So if you have your image also into your Xcode, you can just replace that with the complete extension over to here. And now let's over to the SamView controller class. Here now we created a kind of a object of this particular class because we have to save every single thing which is being actually written over to here. Now let's head over to the view controller. So address book is actually a kind of a library which is a native library of Apple, so which is by the name of AB address book. So it has so let me go to the depth to explain you better. So this is the particular library which is being provided by Apple. So by this library, what we can do is we can just get all the contacts, we can save all the contacts, and we can do multiple functions inside it. So we are just playing with that complete functionality. Right here in this particular piece of code, we are checking that is the system version is greater than 6 or not. So let's say because AB address book framework is actually being degraded or depreciated in iOS, so we have to check that your iOS is upgraded or not. So if your iOS is not upgraded, then the other function will be, or other piece of code will be executed, so which we are doing it over here, else this will be executed. Now coming to this particular structure, now we are saving every single property, which is like AB address book has a kind of a object, another class which is actually by the name of AB record reference, and by that we created a new object, new person object, and by that new person object we are saving the person's first name, last name, nickname, and organization property, which we actually been getting from the person class object, which is actually the class of SAM reference. And in SAM reference we have written the every single piece of code or the information which we want to save inside my application. So this person dot first name gets Ayush, person dot last name gets Mehra, and person dot nickname gets Ayush, right? And person dot organization name says codes room. And now it's time to save the email address. This particular just to save an email address, we get a reference from AB mutable multiple value reference class, and once we create, we just save that particular email inside that, which is we're creating the bridging header for that also. And now it's time to just save all the particular social media IDs, so let's say Skype, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So for that it's every single piece of code is illustrating you that this is for Skype, and this is for Twitter, and this is for Facebook, and this is for LinkedIn, right? So every each and every class is it's sorry the each and every object is being illustrating that this is a kind of a service for Skype, this is for service for Twitter, this was service for Facebook, and this is for LinkedIn. And this class is actually the AB multi-value and value and label class, which is actually being inherited from the AB value reference, right? So once we have saved all the particular information, you can just see it onto the screen that we are saving every single information by person.facebook id and every single by that particular thing. So once you have done this part, it's time to save an image. So by person.displayPic, we just got that particular thing, and we are actually creating a NS data of it. And what is NS data? NS data is actually the raw particular piece of code. As you can just imagine that every single piece of thing is comprised of 0 and 1 in programming language. So we are creating that raw complete format, we are saving that format inside that particular object of the particular class, which is being used for saving the all particular information like the social media IDs and the name and everything. And once we have done this part with the AB address book at record, we are saving this all particular things. So now it's time to add validations. So in order to add validations, we have to check that our record being saved or not. So just to check that if we are getting an error, we just say that could not create an unknown user, sorry for that. And if we are successful and just saving the particular piece of contact, we say added successfully. And once we have done that part, we are actually saving this particular thing inside the CF release. Now I've created one more function which is by the name of getContacts. We are calling this function just a reason so that all this particular information is being saved or not. So this particular all piece of code is the similar to the piece of code which we written above. Just an example that it is creating an array so that an array gets all the particular information which is actually being saved in your contacts. So this particular piece of code is actually to save your all information, which is by the name of save contact to address book. And this particular piece of code is actually getting your all information which is being saved into your contact book. So guys, let's create a breakpoint over here and let's create a breakpoint over here. Now let's start an application just to see that our piece of code works or not. Just to show you a glimpse of that. So you must know where we can find the contacts. It is in extras. We click on contacts, and right now it is saying this particular piece of code, right? It is actually saying Ayush Mehra because I just saved my application before making this video. So I'll just show you the glimpse of that how this piece of code executes. Here actually what we are doing is in get contacts we are creating a counter, right? So which is by the reference of which is actually the object of NSUI integer, and we are actually getting that how many people contacts are being into the address book. So by this particular count we are actually creating an array of it, and by that array we are calculating the count of it, and we are running a for loop to get every single piece of record. So now it says save contact. I just click on this particular information. I just delete the log. I just so I guess my information is being saved, and now I'm calling this particular function which is by the name of get contacts. Now let's print this array. It says 11 elements, right? And 11 elements data is being printed over to the log section. So it says Han, Hancock, Get Bill, Kate Bill, and every other user, right? Now let's see. It says Ayush Mehra was added to your contact successfully. Thank you so much for that. And now let's see, by pressing Command Shift and H, you can just see that my piece of code let's say I go to it creates two Ayush Mehra over to here because one was created previously and one is created now. So I write Ayush, it has two Ayush over to it, and all the piece of information which I saved it over there. So guys, thanks for watching my video. So the complete video explained you that how you can save your complete information and you can get your complete information from the address book inside your iOS application. Thanks for watching my video guys, and don't forget to subscribe our channel for watching more videos onto it. Thanks.